Greetings and welcome to Creative Consulting Dreams. I'm your host, Beverly Brown, and thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are, whether you're watching on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I'm just happy that you're here, and I hope that you'll enjoy the show. Creative Consulting Dreams is talking to everyday people about their goals, their dreams, their visions, but mainly talking about the obstacles that they had to face to get towards that dream. And we're going to have a lot of wonderful guests, so please stay tuned and make sure you please like and subscribe on YouTube and make sure that you hit the bell so that you can get alerts for future shows. And today, wow, I have such a phenomenal guest with me today. He's a person that's usually behind the camera, so if he's acting shy, that's because he's behind the camera. He's not an in front of the camera person, but you know what? This is the reason why I wanted to have him on the show, because he's always doing so much for so many other people. So today, I want my audience to be introduced to none other than Mr. Derrick, Arizona, Washington.
Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome.
I'm glad I joined.
Thank you so much. And
I love the crew too.
They are the best crew in the world.
It's the best crew in the
Tone
world.
Night Productions, Carissa Rose, oh my God, and James Harris. I thank God for them.
I'm saying, she did your makeup awesomely.
Oh, thank
Y'all
you. Appreciate it.
Queen Carissa Rose work right here. You know, she's a pageant queen, so you know she know how to get ready.
You know it too. And that's the good thing about us, and I guess the relationship that we have. We know each other in the movie business and the production business.
True.
Matter of fact, remember I met you on your birthday?
I remember that, but I don't know what year it was.
I know you don't want to remember.
It seemed like so long ago.
I think it's about 4 or 5 years ago.
That's what's up.
Yep, and we've been doing a lot of things together since then. But
and you have created so many. Well, you have helped people with so many dreams since then. Like the Dream Steerer, really, you done proved it, of course, the way. I didn't see a lot of my friends. Dreams is just growing exponentially.
Thank you.
Because of your consulting. That's pretty cool.
Thank you. And you've helped a whole lot of many dreams too, because I mean, with we're going to talk about your company and everything else that you're doing, but mainly, like I said, he's such a humble person because he's always thinking about other people, and he's behind the scenes for a movie that I'm in. He's, and like you said,
Shout out to Dr. Brenda Combs.
Oh yes, and she was on it last week, but we don't know when it's going to air. But she was my guest as well, because that's what we do.
Yeah, we do.
So, but we're going to learn about a little bit about Derrick, Arizona, Washington.
I usually don't open up to anybody, BB, but since you're my friend.
Yes, we're going to get to the nitty gritty, because that's the great part about it. We've known each other, but as far as personal things, we really don't. So come on, tell me a little bit about what's going on with Derrick, Arizona, Washington.
All right, well, let's start from the beginning. I'm from Chicago.
Okay.
You know, lived in Chicago till I was 21. Moved to Wisconsin, went to school in Wisconsin.
Okay.
Went to school for philosophy.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, then moved back to Chicago, went back home, worked as a paramedic for a little bit.
There is a lot I don't know about you. Okay.
Then moved to AZ, and then somehow got into like the movie business.
Yeah.
I just like failed there. I woke up there one day. I'm like, wait a minute, where am I? Like, okay, cut, action. I'm like, okay, let me figure this out really quick, because it is fun, it is interesting to be behind the camera, to create movies or television, or just videos that are educational. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
That's what you do. Plus, I know you're a barber, or is what? What are you doing?
I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm going to open up a little bit more things about you.
I'm also a barber, so yes, I cut from home now. My garage is now a barber shop, you know, for select few, you know, because we got a lot of stuff going on currently in the world. So you got to sanitize between each client. Not a whole bunch of people at the same time, things like that.
That is different now with COVID, even with haircuts and stuff.
I had to fall back from the barbershop because you got too much traffic in there.
Right. I know, because right now my grandson has an afro. He's back to his afro and stuff because people just stopped getting haircuts and everything.
Well, yeah, they ain't got nowhere to go. So they like, the other half is like, you know what, I don't even need a haircut.
You never
I'm
really
in the
think
house.
about that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
And they in the house, their girlfriend or their wife. The wife is like, could you please get a haircut, man?
Today.
Get your haircut. Man, get your haircut, man. Don't be in the house looking all sloppy, man. That's going on. You can't be like that.
Well, good. Well, since you said you made it to Arizona and you just kind of fell into doing film, tell me any struggles back in your past. You know, I'm going to dig a little bit deeper about a few things. Just touch bases on that, because mainly what I want people to know is that, you know, the guests that I have in front of it that are here on this show, or people that are, you know, doing successful things now. But at some point, I mean, it's like I was telling Carissa, it's like everybody's going through something. We've struggled to do something. So come on, give us a little bit of story. I know men don't like to talk about things.
You got the tissue, Carissa, got the tissue box, because I'm about to know. Give me your shoulder, BB. I'm going to go air it out. So, yeah, I'm from Chicago, man. So, of course, it was a whole bunch of everything living in Chicago, right? You grow up and you see everything. You see drug addicts, you see alcoholics, you see violence, you see crime, you see hatred, you see all of that, which is one of the reasons why I started my community outreach, is because everywhere I looked, that was the case.
Right.
But I was raised by my great-grandparents, right? So
by your great-great-grandparents?
Great-grandparents.
Wow.
So they instilled God into me, right? So even though I was seeing all of this, what have you, I knew it was something better than that. And I also know if we work together, we can solve all these issues, or at least pad ourselves from the environment, because we don't associate with the environment doing what the world does.
Exactly.
So, yeah, my entire life of bumping my head, doing the wrong things, saying the wrong things, for the wrong reasons sometimes. Right. So I always knew about God, but I never committed myself fully to Him until just recently.
Yes. Yeah.
And when you do that, the game literally changes.
Isn't that amazing? Truly
it's super amazing. Because if you actually pray for it, you can have it. Because I was, you know, always loved God and always loved people, man. But to actually feel the influence through your life, man, or the safeguard of your life, like, okay, well, especially during the pandemic, when you got all your safeguards have been thrown down, like Carissa, James, like, listen, we were doing like art battle. Remember, we were cooking with gas.
So many events that were going on.
We were so many. We were
every month, every 2 to 3 months, we were either at the same event or something you were sponsoring, or you were coming in, and that's the way. Actually, that's the way Arizona is. Arizona is just like an event place. I mean, it's just like every month there was something special to go to. So that's just amazing. And I just really want to say, how amazing is that? He didn't say his grandparents, he said great-grandparents.
And what a blessing too, man. And because early on I used to complain about that fact. Because my mom wasn't there. My mom had me when she was young. You know what I mean? I love my moms. But so as a kid, you don't understand that. You're not like, oh, well, you know, mom, you need some time. My grandparents, my great-grandparents are the best way to go. No, you don't think that. You think like, oh, what's wrong with me or what have you.
Yeah.
But I was in the best place. They were stable. They were retired.
But you didn't know that at the time. It just looked like your mom just wasn't there, and you just didn't know. And that's what a lot of kids and everybody are going through. You know, at least you didn't go to foster care or anything, because I don't want to assume.
Thank goodness, no, I did not.
Well, thank God, because a lot of people end up going to foster care even if when the parents are there. So, like you said, the blessing is at least you still had family that instilled things into you. You know, you might have done some things wrong, but still. Definitely.
And not just anybody, I mean, like the perfect people, like the Smallville family. You know, my great-grandmother, she had a garden, she cooked, she taught me how to cook, you know what I mean? My great-grandfather taught me chess and the love for reading books and this and that. So it was like a treasury of a blessing growing up that you don't realize until you see other lives and other paths. And then you're like, wait, you know what, that was a blessing. But some of these lessons and these blessings can be instilled, though.
Yes.
You know, so you can, like my other grandmother that's my great grandmother on my mom's side. Right. So my grandmother on my dad's side, she's the one that gave me the love for travel.
Okay.
She came and got me out the hood every summer.
And where'd y'all go?
And she was an adventurous woman. I'm talking about she did whatever, man. So we basically went to the woods and river rafting and this and that.
Okay.
Eventually the Virgin Islands and stuff like that. But she was all over the place. And she loved your neck of the woods. My favorite place is your neck of the woods.
New Orleans?
No.
Oh, well, you know it. Well, yeah, she knew.
Now, she was a world traveler, but that's her favorite place.
If she's been to the South, then you're right. She's been to the place. Now, did she take you to New Orleans?
No.
So
I gotta go.
You've never been to New Orleans?
Nope. So right now, I'm gonna add this on her show. So right now, me and my sister and my cousins are planning my grandmother's funeral, right? But I'm gonna propose to them. Let's go to New Orleans and figure out why. You know what I mean? So with her funeral, Bernadette Williamson, we're going to do a little bit differently than we do most services. You know.
You're saying planning. Is your grandmother just passed? What are we talking about?
Yeah, she passed the day after Christmas last December.
Oh my God.
But she was so happy though. She was with my uncle. She was at my uncle's family's house. They had kids and presents.
So you just planning a funeral as far as just a ceremonial thing?
It was a ceremonial thing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, memorial type of thing. Okay. Where we get all the grandchildren, because everybody gets a chance to meet her.
Right.
Or learn from her.
Okay.
So what I mean by she owned businesses, she had houses in parts of the country, traveled. She ran the golf course in Florida. Like what she did, she was a boss. She's a boss lady, man. What you mean?
See, that's what I wanted to get out of you. You have the lineage. When you said you just fell into doing production, well, guess what? Look what happened. And that goes to show you, like, you never know from the roots you came, your environment, the fact that you were a world traveler and she brought you out and she did things. I think that's what probably caused you to go right into, like you're saying, producing, which let's talk about that.
Okay.
Let's talk about what you're doing right now.
All right. So like I said before, just got done working on a project with Dr. Brenda Combs that you're in.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
I don't want to start naming the cast because I might forget somebody.
Please don't. We don't want to do the credits.
Right, but the rest of the cast, y'all are brilliant. Okay,
yes,
I can't say every last one of y'all
love
names.
them. We've been having so much fun shooting that movie, Church.
But we can't bring up Jim and Elena though. You guys are awesome. I learned a lot from working with you guys. But yeah, so that's been like, hey, come on this film. I'll do behind the scenes, and then start figuring out how we can make this evolve.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, let's do that. Sounds fun.
Yes.
You know.
And that's interesting, like you said it. You don't always have to have all your ducks in a row. What? Dr. Brenda Combs came up with a brilliant idea. It was a play, and then what?
Right, and then boom. Now she had the idea to do a movie, and now she's doing a few movies.
Yes.
Now. So we're around movie people, though. You know, now James is doing camera work. What are we turning into? Where are we going, guys? We don't know.
People.
But something is amiss.
Yes, I love it. That's the whole point. You don't have to know how it starts. You just start. And you just never know how it ends up. Dr. Brenda Combs didn't know when she was writing the play because she said she wrote the play almost 10 or 15 years ago, and we made it a stage play, and then boom, she had a brilliant idea to now turn it into a movie. But the thing is, you just get started, and it just all starts falling into place.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You gotta trust God completely, because what's the verse? Do I walk through the valley of death?
Do I walk through the yes?
Because that's what the world gonna look like. It's gonna be oh scary, you know, just so you can get outside of how you should operate. Yeah. But it's usually just illusions, you know. So if you have faith in God and do what you're urged to do, well, first of all, read your Bible, because people they urge to do whatever type of stuff.
Bring that up.
Base your urge on the Bible first, then live through that, and then watch what happens.
Right, because that's what it was just so amazing when I just called you and you said you were in the middle of doing a 5-hour meditation.
Some days I get to do that.
Derrick, is that you? Because like you said, you're really now starting to see what you need to do in the role that God is playing in your life, and that's powerful.
I start my day, that was a luxury day that you called me on. Some days it's just 30, 15 minutes.
Right.
But this morning I was able to wake up early for anything to do, you know, I get in my zone, listen to different scriptures in the Bible, and meditate and think and pray and then start the day. Yes. And once you do that every day and every night, things start to change. Mm-hmm.
So I'm so proud of you to hear that from you, because that's a whole different side of you.
It feels good to me.
And it looks good.
Thank you.
It really does. And now let's talk about your Genesis International.
Yes,
I mean, you do so many things, but I know we have to talk about
You
Genesis
have to talk about this. So, this is my baby right here. Okay,
Yes.
so Genesis International is my community outreach, right? So it's based through a barbershop perspective, where people come in, barbershop, beauty salon, people come in,
right,
talk. You know how people do it. Everybody know about the barbershop, beauty salons. However, so if you collect the data and process it, then you get to help certain areas that people complain about.
Okay.
Right, because everybody's from the community. They know different parts of the community. They know what's wrong with the community, and they got different parts that help the community.
True.
Right. So those avenues of growing up in Chicago, where you saw the violence, you saw the drug use, you saw the undereducation, the purposeful undereducation in certain areas, the purposeful imprisonment, so on and so forth. All these things you can reintroduce. Okay.
Which is why you call it Genesis.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Wow.
Exactly. You can reintroduce education. People can donate their education. They can donate their uncleness. They can donate their big sister, big brother, grandfatherness, or grandmama this to a person that can receive that data and process it and grow and evolve.
Okay.
And it's usually based on, and this is all based on how I grew up. So I've seen it happen. It's like my grandma took me from different places. Like most people I grew up with was in Chicago, was in that area.
Right.
I love the area I grew up in, but still, it's something said. So you get out and explore different things and see different things, and that's what the schools that have the funding do for their children. So basically, whatever the schools that have funding do for their kids, we can figure out a bootleg way to do that in the hood.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
And that's what I've always seen that about you. You know, how you just want to support and just give back to others. So, what you got to say?
I got to say, this summer, or this spring, we started early. This spring, we're going to be having a weekly group session called Explorers Academy from Genesis International, where you get to bring your kids down, right? And we either educate them on different things or take them on different field trips. And it's totally free, all right? So we're not a nonprofit. I mean, we are a nonprofit, but we're not a 501c3. So donations are needed for us to get stuff done. So we will have like shirts and stuff for sale and different things like that, food and blah, 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 but to fund taking these children somewhere. But that's coming up, and we would need the community's help on that. You know,
and I want you to bring up, you're saying that's coming up because we don't really know when it's going to air. So are we talking about, is this like the fall of 2021?
Summer 2021.
Summer 2021?
Yes.
This might be happening.
Yes.
So you never know when somebody want to be, will be watching this show. So how would they be able to get access to it? Is it your website? What would you do?
All right, so we have a Facebook page that James is going to beautifully drop in here. But Genesis International LLC on Facebook is our platform right now. The website will be up soon, but we really don't need a website for what we do. We pretty much call an action. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is what we're doing, either feeding the homeless or like working with Carissa with the special needs prom and things like that. We're our second year. The first one, we didn't hit the target that we wanted to hit. So that's another thing. So we're reaching out to all the special needs families and centers and loved ones and blah, blah, blah. We're going to have events for them. I don't know if me and Carissa going to call it the prom or not anymore, but it's going to be an event for them to come out and hang out and be cool once we get past all the bug stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, you have already knew that you have a lot of things in planned and coming, and like I said, COVID just stopped so many things and so many activities on the Arizona level anyway. So I'm just happy that you were able to just come on the show.
You know I had to come on the show.
Took enough time because I'm like, we're watching the clock now because you got to do something else because you're very busy with whatever it is that you do. But I just had to feature you because I wanted you to be in front of the camera for the change, because people need to know who Derrick Arizona Washington is, because you're a giving person, kind person, and you're always looking to help other people, and you can just touch a lot of lives. So.
Well, thank you. Well, I'm going to take this moment to tell y'all about who BB is, okay?
No, we're about to end the program.
If you need your dreams consulted, if you need to grow in belief in yourself, she's a trailblazer, man. I've been knowing BB for a long time. She didn't talk the talk and walk the walk. Well, I ain't had the food yet. All right, hold on. See, me and BB talk junk all the time. She from New Orleans.
I'm about to cut him.
But everything else, she's stellar. Thanks for having me on, BB.
Thank you. I'm glad you're here. you know, we're both stellar people. I think we're doing, as long as we're doing God's work, that's what it's mainly about.
That's what it's about.
Allowing God to just use us as the vehicles. And whenever that happens, then it automatically just turns out to be what it's supposed to be.
That's true.
So thank you for being on Creative Consulting Dreams Inspirational Talk Show. It's been my pleasure having you. Please make sure that you guys please like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button and share. You know, share this word. Share what Creative Consulting Dreams Inspirational Talk Show is all about. Thanks again. Thank you, DW.
Thanks, Mimi,
See you guys later. God bless you guys.